This show has been made possible by the Fortune Jack Partners and with the continued support of the Casino Extreme affiliates. Hello friends, we're back again with more online gambling news affecting you, me, and our industry. Jay Todd here, filming in my own backyard, literally, because I've been having tummy issues all week. Let's just call it that. So I don't want to go too far from the house, if you know what I mean. And now that you know more than you ever wanted to about my digestive tract, let's get down to business. Last week we had a show with no stories from the United Kingdom, not a one. This week we have many stories from the United Kingdom, but the question is, for how long? As in, how long will there be a United Kingdom? Things have been so busy lately that the thought of Brexit may have slipped our minds, at least outside of Britain. But as time winds down, it's looking more and more and more like a no-deal Brexit will take place. And that is not particularly good news for some UK bookmakers. You see, leaving the European Union may send dominoes tumbling that could lead to issues in Northern Ireland and perhaps even independence for Scotland and Wales, potentially spelling trouble for companies like Flutter and GVC, two affiliate favorites I know. The concern here, even though it's not a certainty, is that a breakup of the UK would favor companies who could handle the new market conditions, companies like William Hill and 888. So, while there are a lot of dominoes yet to fall, they do seem to be lining up perfectly for that scenario. And while we wait to see what happens, one of our aforementioned companies, Flutter, just hired former MP Tom Watson as their advisor on safe gaming practices, which works out perfectly because, you know, it makes sense for Flutter to bring in someone who was a leader in UK gambling politics, and it makes sense for Mr. Watson, who was, after all, out of work. So that takes care of our first half right there. We'll just put a little period on that and call it the first half of the show. But we're not done, not by a long shot, because when we come back, discussion on a UK curfew due to coronavirus. Yeah, you're gonna want to stick around to hear that one.
My name is Artur Kishenka. People call me the face of kickboxing. I've been at the top of the game for a long time, but every time I get into the ring, it's all or nothing. The winner will win any battle. Win with Melvin.
Hey, welcome back. Before we get to talking about a possible curfew in the United Kingdom, I wanted to let you all know that APCW member Betmaster has been busy making their program even better for their affiliates. They have a new brand, Bongo Casino, with a 120% welcome bonus for you to promote. Plus, they have raised their CPA and hybrid deals as an incentive. Learn more by visiting their review page at APCW or visit them directly at betmasterpartners.com. Now on to talk of a curfew in the UK. Curfew, you say, J. Todd? Yes, a curfew. Believe it or not, the British government is actually considering a 10 p.m. curfew as a way to slow the spread of coronavirus. Okay, and so, as usual, our industry looks like we're lined up and bent over to take one up the bum so that politicians can look like they're actually doing something. I mean, think about this. People go to work, take public transport, go to stores and shop and otherwise interact all day long, so logically, the answer to stopping a pandemic is to close casinos and pubs precisely at 10 p.m., the time where they really start making their money. After all, 10 p.m. is when the virus suddenly wakes up and becomes active, right? It's like a vampire virus or some shit like that. I don't know. And the thousands of casino employees affected by this, if it actually happens, well, you know, at least they won't catch COVID-19. And if they do, it sure as hell won't be between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. I'll tell you that right now. This is yet another amazing example of a government grasping at straws without considering the consequences of their actions, because quite honestly, they have no idea what to do at this point. But they can't admit that, and they have to look like they're doing something, right? So, while they try to appear useful, like they're somehow worth the taxes you pay them, I will take my leave and let you think about that. Now, I know there was a lot of other news this week out of Germany and a few more stories from the UK. I just didn't have enough time and didn't have the stomach for it today, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. God willing, and if I'm not sitting on the toilet, I'll see you again next week. And while we wait to see what happens there, one of the aforementioned companies, it's a company, folks. Just visit them directly at betmasterpartners.com. What the f am I doing with my arms? As usual, our industry has to take one up the bum so that politicians, boy, I'm just batting 1,000 a day. Politicians. I'm making up words. Politicians. Somebody needs to write that down. What is a politician? Send me your answers. I'd love to hear what you have.